Clap for me one time. Business.
Hey.
What's up, everyone?
What's up, everybody?
We back.
We are back. I'm Danny.
And I'm Gino.
And we are father of three.
Father of three.
Yeah, so we wanted to have a pretty heavy conversation. And I guess I'm feeling the weather outside. It's raining, it's gloomy, it's cold today. And what I need to talk about is kind of heavy, G. So I need you to stay with me because...
Yeah, I heard it was going to be something heavy. I have a glass of wine.
I have a glass of lemonade.
Let's go.
So, sexual harassment.
Pow!
Yeah, so I'm sorry. Okay. Parental advisory. Some people will be offended and disagree with my statements. My views are my own.
Yep.
And by all means, if you disagree with something, if you feel that I've said something that's inappropriate, by all means, please let me know. Reach out, answer, speak to it, because I think that these are conversations that we need to have. So, when we talk about sexual harassment, I think that it's a very, very wide topic. And I'm not a victim myself. I've never been a victim. I have never been an offender. I've never been an offender, so I can't speak from personal first-person experience. And so I will not try to speak from a place of authority. What I will do, however, is speak to something that I'm starting to realize and notice, right? I personally myself have been with my wife for, the better part of, almost 2 decades. Dang.
Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. We've been together for a long time. And as a result, the way I met her is on the street. Like, I was walking on the street and I met my wife. And I just started talking to her, and that was it. A lot of the interactions that we had between ourselves in the beginning of a relationship, now, today, in today's reality, I think would be considered, some of them anyways, would be considered inappropriate. But what I'm realizing is when you poll people, when you poll your parents, when you poll a lot of older people, you realize that a lot of them met through work. And I think that in this new sexual harassment and all the Me Too and all that stuff that's happening, I think that we need to really, really take a break, stop, think of what we're doing, because I think that we stand a risk of jeopardizing organic, natural man-woman relationships, right? If I was to, thank God I'm married, so I got this shield protecting me, but that is my shield protecting me, and thank God my wife is there as well. But to be honest with you, if I'm in a working situation, I will leave the doors open. I will notify somebody else that I'm talking with someone. I will not take a meeting alone with a person of a different gender than myself. I will not do it. I am too afraid of the possible consequences or repercussions to my reputation and to my safety, realistically speaking. Yeah. Because as we're talking about sexual harassment and all the offenders, right? There's a great deal of offenders. I think that nobody stopped to think about the danger of being, I want to say, misaccused, right? Because in the court of public opinion, you will be judged and hung before any truth comes.
Any allegations, if it comes to the light or is just mentioned,
you're
done.
Already
You're
done. You're done.
Screwed. Yeah.
You're done. You're finished. And so I think that it's going to jeopardize men-women relationship. And what I mean by that is, I don't think dudes are going to start talking to women at work too much. Because they'd be like, okay, real story. A friend of mine works in a paper cutting factory. He works in a paper cutting factory. He's about to retire. They bring him this new trainee, and they go, "Would you mind training this person?" Young woman, 20-something, and he's like, "No, I'm not doing it. I'm too close to retirement to risk it. I am not doing it." That was his reaction, and to be completely fair and balanced, I agree. I would have done the exact same thing had I been put in that position. Because I'm like, I am not willing to take the risk of being alone, right, in a very loud environment, very dangerous environment. You put your hand on the wrong place, that's it.
Yeah.
You don't want to have that kind of stuff affect you. And as somebody that's, I got a lot to lose.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. I think that it will affect man-woman relationship in much more insidious ways than people realize.
Devil's advocate mode activated.
Go.
Couldn't we say that it's a small price to pay if it will prevent a number of incidents, situations, etc.?
So if the argument is men don't know how to act, so we have to slap them all, again, I don't know how I feel about that, but I think that my premise kind of stated it. First, I do think that a lot of men don't know how to act. Like this madman mentality, sort of uber sexist. I think that we need to realign the men-woman relationship. But on the flip side, I don't think it's a small price to pay. I think it's a very heavy price to pay. And I think that we're going to head into a world a lot more repressive than what we set out to do. Because if the cost of talking in a normal fashion with somebody you consider to be your equal, right? You're so afraid of the consequences that your reaction is going to be, I ain't talking to you. I'm not looking at you. I'm walking away. Because I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to lose my livelihood. I don't want to be accused of being inappropriate, because that in and of itself, it's not just a scarlet letter. It'll terminate you. Straight up termination. I ain't taking that risk. I got too much to lose.
I am torn.
Speak, brother, speak.
I'm torn in this angle and in the angle of this topic.
Because of the way I've taken it?
Well,
talking about the men as victims? Yeah, that's not a popular...
No, I don't... That's not even a problem for me.
What is it?
Okay, so I'll put it bluntly and simply.
Yeah.
Because I've already been living this way.
Have you?
For the longest.
Yeah.
For me, I don't feel like I'm losing something. Let me explain. So, when I was in a relationship, married, and I'm not afraid of saying it, because I know many will be able to report that of me. I've been a faithful dude. Yeah. I've been walking straight.
Yeah.
And I was so scared of, at any time, somebody even alluding to me acting inappropriately.
Yeah.
I took precautions. Okay? It's part of my belief system of who I was. Marriage is something sacred to me. I am a Christian. And there's just ways you don't walk. So, maybe someone would think that, oh, you're exaggerating. But no joke. If I needed to drive somewhere and a girl needed a lift, sorry, baby, I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
Why? I ain't going to risk it. We're talking 10 years before the #MeToo movement. Yeah. I was already doing it. For me, it was just like, no, I don't know. If I'm going around and, I have a meeting with a girl, blah, blah, no problem. Because before I was married, okay, so for those who don't know me, yes, I'm in the computer business, IT consultant, but at the same time, I work in a youth organization, and I do music. So back in the days, I'd have to record some artists, and there were women. Before I was married, hey, I'd record them, no problem. After I was married, I would record them, but I'd make sure somebody else is with me. bring a manager, or I bring a friend, or I bring someone with me to make sure everything is okay. And it's not because, oh, I thought all women are Jezebels trying to, what's the succubus, evil demons, witches trying to take over the strong-willed men. No, it's not that. I'm just making it safe for both of us. If you're suspect that I might do something, well, there's something, a third party, so I won't. And if I think, we might have some miscommunication in certain ways that we were acting, well, I'm making things clear. So I was just already somebody like that. I don't step over these lines because I knew, hey, and let me just reassert, these are not things that my wife at the time had asked me for. Said, hey, I'm not going to let you do recording or let you leave the house without... No, it's just like, hey, baby, here's what I do, and here's why I do it. And even she was like, no, it's ridiculous. Nah.
No, it's not, dog.
That's how I act.
Yeah.
And then understand that if I'm doing this, because it goes both ways. If I'm doing this, and I'm doing it for you, and I'm making sure to be safe, then you remember also to act accordingly.
Yeah.
And if you step away or step out of these boundaries, then you'll know you'll never be able to say, oh, well, I did it because. I'd be like, whistle, check anybody, check with everyone. You know how I act. I don't chit-chat with chicks. Like, right now I have a lot of female friends. Right now I talk with a lot of females. I just didn't before. Why? Because I'm making sure. So that's why I'm saying, price to pay, for me, because of the way I think, and because of my worldview, I'm not losing out.
But G, what I'm saying is, because of this this tone, because of the way, because of where we are, what I'm saying is we stand the risk. We're running the risk of over separating, right, the genders. Now, we happen to work in technology, so in most cases there are very few, the situations where we're alone with women are rare and far between, right? The reality is if I'm meeting with a woman, usually it's because I'm going to their office, and so it's a public place. Right? But I oftentimes go to a lot of conferences, Infocom. I'll go to a lot of conferences, right? A lot of big conferences. Like I'm going to one in Vegas not too long from now. And the thing is you go to those conferences, sure, you want to see the new stuff and whatever, but it's mostly to network.
Yeah.
Right? And there happens to be, for example, a rep for a specific company. She's a woman. We've known each other a long time. I ain't taking a meeting alone. I am not.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to a hotel bar. No.
But what I'm saying is, would you have done that even before this new generation of #MeToos?
That's a good question. Maybe not. Okay. That's a good question. I'd take somebody else, probably, but for different reasons. And I'd take somebody else and not necessarily to go to the same place. So for example, this is an opportunity where we recruit in these types of events. You'll recruit new talent, right? Because obviously everybody from the industry is there.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to hire somebody away from another company,
this is the time for it.
This is the time for it, right? Because blank canvas, everybody's there, head of HR, president of the company, whatever. Hey, you need to meet this guy, whatever. And so a lot of those meetings have to happen behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Where I'll have like an initial conversation with someone. Hey, let's go hush hush, talk about this, whatever. Are you interested? I'll bring somebody else in and whatever. In the previous era, I might have for somebody that I know personally. Whereas now I don't care. I ain't doing it.
There you go.
Yeah. So yes, I can say in all honesty, I think it has changed. Because I'm thinking of actual situations. I'm playing a couple of make-believe scenarios in my head.
Yeah.
And previously I would have, now I would not. I would not do it because the cost is too great. yeah, the cost is just too great. Screw that.
Me, like I said, I just wouldn't. And with everything that's happening right now, for me, it's just proof. For me, it's just like, well, people said I was crazy when I was doing it.
Yeah,
people think I was crazy. Yeah. Now, you're forced. Okay, okay, let's.
But you're always overly conservative.
I am, and that's cool, right? What I'm just saying is, for me, it makes me laugh when maybe Gino was right. I'm just saying, get used to it, because that's the point.
Do you think we're ever gonna come back from this?
Never.
Yeah.
Never. I think that with time, the pendulum goes back and forth, and I think at this point, it went far enough that it's not gonna come back. Because anyways, the interactions have changed. You mentioned something earlier, or maybe it was before we started the video, when you were saying, I don't know the stats anymore, but how now most relationships begin online. Mm-hmm. It's no longer a face-to-face thing.
No.
I don't think that's gonna change.
I don't like that though.
You don't, but it's just the way. Look, I've gone back and forth, right? I've gone from this super like, hey, these are my boundaries. Yeah. And I will never have to go and throw myself out there in the open. Yeah. And then life comes crashing into your face, and then you're like, oh, so actually I do have to throw myself back on the market. Yeah. Now,
by the way, I could never. Don't say that. Yeah. I have a hard time seeing myself doing this right now. I would be, petrified.
I was totally weirded out. I felt like a dinosaur.
Yeah. I feel like a dinosaur right now.
I was an elephant in any room. And it's not as if I stopped being able to communicate. I've always been good with communication. That's not the problem. Yeah. That's why we're doing what we're doing now. It's because we love just talking in public. We like doing it. Yeah. So that's not the problem. It's just that you get used to having these boundaries. Yeah. Now you kind of have to break them, let go. Because, well, if I keep this, I can't meet you, then I can't meet anybody else. Yeah, yeah. I can't frolic, en guillemets. Yeah, yeah. There's nothing else you could do. So, okay, so now you need to relearn, or I just say learn, because things have evolved and changed so much. Yeah. Like, okay, so how are things going on outside? And, you put yourself in situations that are dangerous. And I think, I think we were talking about this earlier today, without us knowing we were going to get into that subject. I was telling Danny that for me, no matter who I meet, if I have to meet a girl, okay, for romantic, work situations, no matter what, there's always somebody who is aware of where I am and what I'm doing. I will usually, when it comes to ladies, I will usually...
By the way, hold on. Yeah. Kim, did you hear? Did you hear this?
Oh.
Guys do it too. I'm just saying. Oh. Guys do it too.
Oh, okay. Right, Kim? So somebody's waiting for my answer. Okay.
Anyways, so please continue. Please continue. And emphasis on details.
Details. Yes. Okay. So, if for some reason somebody hits me up and says, hey, really like you, and this, I'm not even talking Tinder here. I'm just talking, hey, I just connect with a lot of people online and a lot of people in real life also. And if somebody...
Are you on Tinder, by the way?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But, I could use that later on.
I want to know
I'll get on Tinder later on. Yeah. I'll get on Tinder later on. I'll tell you something about it. Yeah. So, I'm not on Tinder. I'm not on any type of dating sites or whatnot. Yeah. But once in a while, I'll be talking with people and somebody will, show interest. Be like, hey, maybe we could go for coffee, whatnot. Hey, it's awesome. It's cool. I will take the information. I will send it to my brother. And I will tell my brother, hey, listen, I'm going to so-and-so's place or meet so-and-so at this place. Here's part of our conversation. You know what's going on. And I will hit you back around this time so that you know I'm safe. And I don't care who says, well, you're a wuss. Hey, maybe for women, but you're a man. Why do you need to do this? Well, I'll tell you why.
Utande?
First of all, yo, a dude can get stabbed in the neck any day.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's not act as if only men are crazy, aggressive, violent, perverse. Dude, anything can happen to me too. So I think the hashtag fits for everyone. So that's number one. Second of all, just in general, it's good for you to know.
Yeah. Somebody knows your whereabouts.
You're safe.
Yeah.
Why? Hey, with everything that happens in the world, I'm not going to say now, because stuff's been happening in the world at any era, okay? But with things happening, you don't want to have to wait 72 hours before signaling to authorities or your loved ones, hey, maybe it's not normal.
Yeah.
You know? I need to know. So, hey, maybe my mom. I don't really want my mom to always be asking these questions because I don't want her to worry for nothing.
Yeah.
But I still have somebody close that's like, hey, my brother knows, hey, I need to leave somewhere. I'm going to be out of town for 2 days.
Yeah.
Back in the days, I would have asked my wife. Back in the days, somebody really, really close.
Yeah.
Then I go for my brother usually for that thing. And now he knows. But, no joke. If I'm going to meet a chick, and she has shown interest in more than just friendship,
Yeah.
and I kind of want to know exactly what's going on, I won't take a risk. Why? Because I might go meet a person. And I'm not saying I have to absolutely believe they are ill-intended.
Yeah. Ill-intended. No. Yeah. No, I understand.
But I know what happens when you say no. And I'm saying that the no means no is not only for women. It's for men too. So I've been in situations where I say, hey, listen, not really interested. And then have a girl just grab my nuts. Hello, people. That's harassment. That's sexual harassment right there. But because we're men, we can't really call it out. So I'll be like, yo, don't touch me. And then she'll say I'm a wuss. And she'll spread around that I'm a wuss. I'm the type of dude
that's messed up.
I'm picky. I'm careful. Hey, we were laughing. I was talking with my brother and a couple of his friends at his birthday, and we were just recounting situations, and I explained my rule of 3 when it comes to meeting women and things that I always say is ridiculous. I won't give you the 3 ones. I'll keep it for another day. But there's one thing every time it's mind-boggling. And when I told guys, they were like, oh, you're so dumb. But I said, am I? Then let's not forget in what era we're living right now. You will go out with a girl.
Yeah.
And you're having a good time. And then, I don't know, something happens. Ha 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 ha. You know, when the laugh ends. And then she'll say something. I think I had a little bit too much to drink. Okay. Newsflash. Hashtag light bulb. There's 2 reasons a woman might say this. Number 1, well, she just wants you to know that as information. What's important for me is the second one. I'm not saying it's for everyone, but most of the time, that's their alibi. Why am I saying alibi? Because that's the moment where they can say, hey, anything that happens after this moment is not my fault anymore. I told you I had a little bit too much to drink. So if things go down,
literally,
yep, and it's good or it's bad, no matter what.
Yeah, I get it now.
I can pull out this information. Okay? Maybe it's because women are scared of what men will think of them if they, quote unquote, give out. Maybe this, and it's a needed survival.
Put out. Yeah.
Put out. What did I say? Give out?
Give out. Yeah.
Well, you can put out, you can give out too. You can also give in. Hey, listen, I can play with these words for a while, right? Semantics. But maybe that was a way of survival. The society makes it so that they don't have a choice but to say that. You know, it's just how it is. Maybe.
It's the I'm not a hoe card, yeah.
Exactly. But listen, Linda, listen. Me, here's the way I take it. Some men will be like, all right, I'm in. Things about to go down.
No.
And for you to assume that,
Yeah, no.
makes it extremely dangerous.
Yeah, of course.
Because if you assume that's what he means, and you misread, and then there's an awkward situation,
Yeah.
or if you're just a bad person,
Yeah.
you will take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Now,
You're a bad person.
Exactly. Now, here's my indication. Let's say we were driving to go to a second spot, or maybe her spot, or whatever, we're not driving. Joke. Ha 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 ha. I think I had a little bit too much to drink. I'm turning back, baby. I'm bringing you home. And what? No. Everything's okay. Hey, I know everything's okay, but I want you to be safe. So you know what? Let me bring you back home. Take it easy. You can call me tomorrow. We can, see each other maybe for breakfast. We can, hey, my situation and my whole plan changes right away. Why? Because I'm not about to take a risk. At any other moment in time, somebody would have said, you're a wuss. And I'm guaranteeing you, I probably missed on a lot of quote-unquote action. I don't care. What I know is for a fact, nobody will be able to say you were taking advantage.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'm not.
Yeah, I understand.
I've been raised differently. I've been raised No, I'm not gonna say differently. Properly. We have to respect women. I understand that they are in more danger usually. I understand all these things, so I'm not taking out of the situations there have been, the struggle and everything. What I'm doing is acknowledging that yes, the whole dynamic has changed.
There are risks.
There are risks, and that's why we just have to change the way we do things. I do not think it's gonna go back to back in the days.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't really want to either. Because there's our back in the days.
Yeah.
Then there's our parents back in the days.
Yeah.
And further. And there's some things that women were treated awfully. It was disgusting. No woman could have said. It's as if women could not say no. You understand?
Yeah.
So I don't want to go to that point.
That's nasty.
I'm for myself, for my children.
That's
because it's still Father 3, right? For my children.
Yeah.
And notice I specified children. I didn't say for my daughter or because I have a daughter, because I care for my boys too.
Yeah.
And what I apply for her, I apply for them. So I don't want her to be abused or simply I don't want these things for her. I don't want these things for my boys. I know they will become men. I pray that they become good men, not just nice boys, good men. And other women might want to take advantage of that too.
Yeah, that's a thing.
It's all possible.
That's absolutely.
Let's not remove it's dangerous when we just see women as victims.
No,
we want to see them as equal.
No,
let's treat them equally.
They're not
and for me, they're equally dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how it is. That's just facts.
Yeah.
So that's my side of things.
Hashtag facts.
Facts. That's offending.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's an interesting one though. Yeah, pull over.
It's I make it. Look, it's funny when you think about it this way.
Yeah. But
it's just so important.
But here's the thing that I guess I'm speaking to. Like, I've been flirting with one woman for the past, you know what I mean? Like for the past 2 decades.
Yeah.
Like I'm not so sure I could pick up a girl. No, actually, let me step back. I know I couldn't pick up a girl. I know I wouldn't have the new unspoken language of the time. I know I couldn't deal with that stuff. And because I'm not adequately prepared to deal with what's the unspoken code, I fear ever falling into this situation, not realizing.
Yeah.
And then being in the place of, oh no, I'm right. Stuck. Oh no.
I can allege. I can assure you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Being how we are about our geeky ways.
Yeah.
It's all learned behavior.
Okay.
You'd pick it right away, like any other skill. Hey, I've never been a quote unquote womanizer.
Yeah.
I was never really hip with the chicks until I used whatever gifts I had and said, "Oh, I could just. You mean whatever I'm doing here, I could just do there?"
Yeah.
And then you click, achievement unlocked, and then you can just do it. I don't wanna.
No, I understand.
That's the thing. It's really just a question that I don't want to. I'm not trying to trick women into having a relationship with me. I'm not trying to trick. I'm a busy dude, and I have no desire right now to run and search. And I'm really happy with what I'm doing. But it's true that when you have rapport with women, you have to be careful. And in the situation I'm in, when I'm working with the youth, it's even more important.
Oh God!
In most places where I hang out, quote unquote, I'm the veteran. I'm the eldest. When I'm on Facebook and I'm in the middle of certain, how could I say, interests, like manga, anime, gaming,
private groups.
All these Facebook groups. Usually, I'm one of the oldest guys there.
That's crazy.
And I never thought about it this way. I never thought. I get to meet a lot of people, men, women, and for me, I'm like, yeah, same age. And I'm like, you meet them or you see them and you realize, oh, shoot, everybody here is like 22, 23, 24, 25. I'm 36. So I'm automatically seen as, most people call me like just, I'm the uncle. I'm just uncle. I'm just like, he's the wise old man, basically, in the group. And I'm like, dang it, I've become Gandalf. I'm freaking Gandalf now. I'm Gandalf the White. It's that, like, okay, fine. You know what? I take it and I run with it. But when I'm with the younger groups, like in the youth center, and most people I teach, it's funny because now most of my students are women or girls.
Jeez.
Because I had, for a time, I had a section of girls, basically girl shelters, right? So most of them, they come from broken childhoods, broken homes. Some have done bad things. Others have have had bad things happen to them, and they need help communicating. And that's when I pitch in and show them, hey, you don't want to talk about it? Fine, let's write about it. Let's make poetry. Let's make it fun at the same time. So most of the people around me are girls. It makes things difficult in the sense that I mesh really quickly with them. I link with them. Sometimes I still remember one of the first cases I had. There were two girls, and I wouldn't tell their name anyways, but the educators were telling me that basically, we're bringing these girls, but we don't think much of them because they don't talk or they're always in trouble and they don't want to tell us anything. And, we're just bringing them so they can do something outside of the center, but, whatever. Here,
I have no expectations.
Yeah, I'm dropping them here for an hour and it's like daycare for them. It's like, yeah, leave them there and whatever. And inside of 15 minutes, I already knew that one of the girls was abandoned by their mother, or by her mother. Her mother had a new boyfriend and she didn't care about her anymore, sent her away, was able to tell me she was abused in the past when she was younger, and all this inside of the first 15 minutes. Why? Because I'm a different person. I'm another person. I'm not somebody she's used to it. And you say, oh, but you're a stranger and she preferred. Yeah, but my approach was different. She was able to know and feel that I was really interested in her well-being, in her. And children that have survived so many hardships, they develop a certain, how could I say?
BS meter.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Meter.
They just know, like, you're saying that you're going to help me and you're going to be there for me. But by the way you say it, I already know.
You don't mean it.
You don't care.
Yeah.
This is just a paycheck. You're clocking out.
Damn.
So that's a lot of the heavy. And now, here comes the interesting part.
Yeah. The words you chose, by the way, resonates with somebody else that said the exact same
Really?
the exact same way.
Before I continue, who?
General speaking, just a younger person you know well.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what she told me.
I know who you're talking
you know
about.
what she told me, and I absolutely had no way of knowing that. At one point, there was a situation, and I did the only thing that I knew to do, which is to say, "Come with me. We'll figure it out together."
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I had no idea what the hell I was doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I had no idea until this day. Like, I'm happy it worked out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really happy
She's
it worked
doing great.
out.
She's doing great.
But I was freaking out. I was freaking out. I was completely out of my depth. And then I looked at my mom and I'm like, Mom, am I doing the right thing? Yeah. Mom looks at me like, I don't know. I don't know.
Let's figure it out.
But we'll figure it out. I mean, we'll deal with it. We'll figure it out.
That's what being a parent is.
Yeah,
and that was practice.
Yeah.
That was practice.
But here's what she told me. She said what I did was I took interest and I acted on it, which is something that she had not had from somebody that had no interest in anything else than just her actual well-being.
That's right.
And I was on her ass because you know me. I'm not like
you didn't let go.
No, it's not like I'm the hey, let's eat popcorn and watch movies.
Everything is gonna be all right. We're just gonna ignore whatever happens. No.
We're gonna deal with this.
Get in this situation.
Yeah, we're gonna open this up and we're gonna clean this out.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
and
right.
we bring a box of Kleenex because we both gonna cry.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And I
respect that.
I am completely untooled to deal with that kind of stuff. But the fact that I was willing
was enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes the whole difference.
It makes a difference, yeah.
And that's what I'm going through. You work with these kids that they've been burnt so many times that now for them everything is a stove. It really is what's going on. Everything is a stove. And the difficult part is you take interest and it's easy for this care, love, and attention to be perceived as romantic.
Of course.
Especially if they're kids that have never been loved or cared for.
Yeah. It can be misconstrued.
Exactly. Because it's the opposite sex. It's an older man.
Yeah.
And for them, there's a hero fantasy that builds.
Of course.
And you're not perfect. And this can be the beginning of the end. Where if you refuse the advances, if they don't know how to react, it's a risk, right?
Absolutely.
And that's one of those examples where when I do interventions, I do it in public. I do it at the center. I would never tell them, "Hey, come home." But I've dealt with other students or other people. How can I say? That have become so close that they are now family. They've met my children or my parents, people around me.
Yeah.
They've been integrated in the family, and we walk with them, and that's different. But I'm always gonna keep that little something where I might say you're like a sister to me, but I do know that bloodline we're not, and this is not a way to separate. It means you're a second-rate sister to me. No, what I'm saying is, I'm always gonna be careful. No matter how close I am with you, I'm always going to be careful that both ways, that dynamic can change. And that's what I mean by all the interactions we have, whether it's work environment, whatnot. Look, let me add this last thing. And it's a friend at work that showed me an article. They were saying that right now, there's kind of a crisis in Japan workplaces because men are actively ignoring the women. Yeah. And women are like, "Yo, why aren't you talking to us anymore?" They're like, "Yo, we're not taking any risk. So like, whoop, we're just gonna, as if nothing happened." And when there's work outing where we're all gonna go for drinks, they're like, "No, we're just gonna go to the boys." and then oh yeah this, and now they're feeling like they're gonna miss out and won't be able to like get promotions, whatever, because whether you like it or not, at work you need that interaction. Yeah. Sometimes you need to suck up and gravitate and gain things.
I don't like that. I don't like that word.
You don't like that word?
No.
You prefer saying
fraternize. The reality is no. Listen. Gee, listen. All right. If for some reason I end up in a position where I have to hire a musical director to create original content. Do you think I'm gonna go on Kijiji and put up an ad?
Yeah,
or I'm gonna go with my boy? Like, what do you think? And that's just human nature. We are people. We want people we know, we like, we've already worked with, because that is the easiest thing to have. And whenever you see a company take over, because I've been in a few, whenever you see a company take over, the number one thing that happens is middle management gets gutted.
Yeah.
Gutted. Yeah. Because the new team wants to have their own people. The people that they know how to work with. Yep. Exactly.
But I used the word suck up because when it comes to women, there's still a difference. Usually.
Is there?
Yeah. I want to be the guy that says, oh, this whole thing is bullshit, and girls, man, it's the same thing. And I know because I've hey, mother of my children's worked at Bell for a while.
Yeah.
It's going to be, I think, maybe more than 10 years. And I've worked for Bell in the past.
Okay.
I know of their culture. I know of the way it works there. Yeah. I know the way the culture of call centers.
Yeah.
Bruh, you could fraternize with another brother and maybe talk about, changes, company. Hey, good idea. You know what? Let me bring you to the team. And usually, when women are involved, this is not the convo that goes. So the mother of my children is gun-ho and doesn't take crap from anyone.
Yeah.
And that blocks her because even though she is the most qualified, if she's not down with fraternizing the way they want to, and usually fraternizing involves, hey, so who are you sleeping with now?
Damn.
It's gonna slip in. There's gonna have a convo about this.
Damn.
And then you're gonna go, oh shoot, well I'm not down with it, but then somebody else goes up, and you realize they go up because they went down.
Damn.
It really. I don't want to paint a brush and say no, but even I've seen it so many times in these types of jobs.
Damn.
So I know it's super touchy.
Damn.
And it's because that's why we've gone
to that.
Again. Yeah, that's why everything shifted, and now girls went, yo, we tired of this bull crap, and now it's like, okay, all right, we admit it. Oh man, but that's gonna make things complicated, girls. Can't you just shut up for a little while? Like, come on, just don't make noise, girls. We promised to rape you a little bit less. We're gonna rape a little bit less.
Okay, all right.
That's a South Park episode, by the way.
All right.
That's a South Park episode when, no joke, when they go. First, I don't remember all the details, but basically, they say there's a priest that goes, what is this thing like? The churches and then priests are raping children and touching boys. That doesn't make any sense. And he goes to the Vatican and he makes this big thing happen. Everybody, all the priests in the world come in and they're like, okay, we need to talk about this. We need to stop touching kids. They're like, okay, so what you're saying is we need to touch them less, right? Less.
No.
And they're like,
no.
And then he's like, the guy's like, yeah, wait, what? No, not at all. Not at all. We're not supposed to touch him. Okay, so to give it to South Park to talk, have fun with something so awkward and so, but
I turn the dial to 11.
But sometimes that's how we act. We have the poison, and instead of saying, let's not drink the poison, we're like, all right, but I promise I'll drink a little less of it. A little less. You have diabetes, we're telling you, hey, If you have just a little bit of sugar,
You're
you're gonna die.
Yeah.
All right, cool. But let's say one Krispy Kreme donut in a year. No, I mean per day. No, I just told you you'll die. Oh, okay. So what you're saying is I should eat a little bit less of it. Are you listening? We are sometimes like that. We are
Yeah.
We are weird like that. Is there a solution, man?
Is there a solution? That's a good question. That's a good question, and to be honest with you, I'm happy it's not my problem. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Thanks for leaving me hanging here.
I know what that sounds like, but I am so happy it's not my problem. It's gonna be my son's problem. It's gonna be my
But you said it's gonna be our kids' problem.
So if there's a solution, I think this is where your reputation matters, and it's gonna sound cheesy and cheap, but I think this is where your reputation matters most. Right? This idea that you'll be judged on the merit of your current actions is insufficient. I think that we'll have to build up character. Right? I think that we'll have to build up reputation and character, and it's going to be something much more important in the coming future than it is today. You know, somebody was talking about. I was listening to this TED Talk, and somebody said that the most valuable system in the future, in the near future, is going to be some sort of the equivalent to your Equifax, like your credit rating, well, for your reputation.
Isn't that like literally a Black Mirror episode?
I don't know.
You never watched that show?
No.
I actually haven't. The guys at work are bugging me. I have a couple of friends that keep like, yo, dude, how can you have not watched this? But it's a lot about technology and the use and the changes. And one of the episodes, I think the first one is basically like, if your social level, like, you know, interaction, it really is like as if you take your Facebook and how many friends and your rating counts. No. It would go down. So if let's say you did something wrong, let's say you passed someone, you cut somebody off on the road. The equivalent of Facebook is the place where you would rate them. And if let's say you did something horrendous, and somebody reported it, it's enough so that everything goes down, and now everything becomes automatically more expensive.
Oh, snap.
Kind of a view of when we say, oh, rich people or beautiful people have it easier. But as soon as somebody, boom, and you're no longer a celebrity, you're back down, and it's like your credit. So I don't know if I want that.
No,
but I understand what you.
So the idea is that if you buy things online, if you exchange services and products, the reality is whenever you get into an interaction with someone, you're basically dealing with a stranger.
Yeah.
And so the fact of having an established system of trust, to say, you know, in X amount of like if you think about it, eBay has this rating system. Kijiji doesn't have it yet, but most systems will have some sort of reviewing process for the product, but not for the actual seller. Because effectively, you're going to meet a pure stranger simply off the merit.
eBay has it. Amazon has it too.
Amazon has ratings. Yeah, you're right. They have, but it's mostly ratings on products, not on sellers. The ratings that you'll have is on.
You'll be a verified, but don't.
No, you don't have. But the reality is you don't really interact with the seller, right? You get a product from him, and that's about it. Yeah. You can rate your experience, but you know, what I'm saying is, to have the Gino index or the Danny index. You know, he's a trusted seller. He's done da. But what I'm saying is, I suspect somehow, somewhere in the future, there's going to be a third party, a completely separate party that's going to collect all those data points on you from Twitter, from LinkedIn, from Facebook, from Reddit, from
it would aggregate
Snap,
all that.
Aggregate all of them. How many positive and negative interactions have you had, right? And build a reputation based upon that.
Yeah.
Think about an artificial intelligence or machine learning algorithm that could go and fact check, for example, the valuable statements that you made on Quora or whatever. Like, I suspect somebody's going to come out with it and you'll have a reputation index.
I suspect it's already on.
I wouldn't be surprised.
We just don't know yet.
I wouldn't
At
be
some
surprised
point, we're
if
like,
it
yeah, here's your status.
Yeah, but so what I'm saying is, I think that somewhere in the future, your reputation will be what will be there to precede you and or hopefully defend you should accusations come out. And when there's a he say she say, hopefully you have had enough good interactions to counterbalance the potential accusations that somebody's throwing at you, such that you can defend yourself and know that you've always been on the righteous side. That is the only piece of advice that I think is remotely.
A lot of trolls would be crying if that was true.
Oh yeah, well, too bad for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
I don't think trolls thriving is really a
No, I'm not
social concern. I don't think society needs them too hot. You know what I mean? Like I've rarely seen the value added by trolls. I've rarely seen.
True.
I'm sure somebody can point out an interaction where the trolls helped. You know.
Hey, it makes for people to be careful what they post.
Eh,
Some people will stop. You know what? Some people will post dumb crap.
yeah.
And only will stop doing it if they're like, man, but if I put this, somebody's gonna catch me and troll me the heck on.
Yeah.
So maybe there's that. I'm playing at straws right now. I'm just trying to figure out what use. But no, I understand. I could appreciate that.
Yeah.
As a system, if that could come out.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the meantime, it's not there yet.
We have to deal with the right now.
But I guess that's the whole thing with being online. That's why when people mention, oh, more relationships are starting from online, meetups.
Yeah.
And they mention it in a negative way.
Uh-huh.
I used to think it was.
Do you know, I met my wife walking on the street. Real time.
Yeah.
That is the story of how I met my wife.
Yeah.
She was a beautiful woman that I saw. I bumped into her and said, hey,
Stop.
we have to get to know each other. Like, that is straight up like, whoa, how come I don't know you?
Let's go.
Like, and honestly, I wish more people had that kind of an interaction. Because, just so we're clear, I was outside of my comfort zone.
Okay, so how different is it from sliding in somebody's DM?
How is it different?
Because it's messed up, awkward, and many times.
Okay, so the interaction with somebody in real time, in real life, looking in the eyes, there's an opportunity for real interactions, right? Me trying to read whether or not I was off, her trying to read whether or not I'm BSing.
Mm-hmm.
That's real. And it's a real risk that two people are taking. Online, I could be DMing 100 people at the same time. Ain't no risk in that. Send my bait in send my bait in 100 different ponds and see which one bites. And saying the exact same line.
I think it's exactly the same. It's just that it's more efficient. So
Hashtag savage.
But seriously, because you're gonna tell me, look, we are in the business of creating content.
Yeah.
So we're used to doing it, okay?
Yeah.
But I know for a fact, most dudes don't have neither the wittiness or creativity to be making quote-unquote pickup lines for every chick they're meeting. So they're dropping the same lyrics everywhere. They'll be in a club. They'll hit on 7 chicks. 6 of them will say no. And the 7th will say yes. It's the same old worm they're throwing every single time. Yo. So for me, I'm like, hey, I'll do the same thing, except I'll be doing something else too. Or I'll be doing somebody else too.
Holmes, I don't like that. I don't know. I don't know. You know what? I've never met somebody online. Actually, that's not true. I never met somebody on a dating site. I met enough people online. I remember realizing after chatting with some people on MIRC or ICQ that they were women. I didn't know they were. And then when they said they were, I didn't believe them. Because I was like, whatever, you're lying. If you really are, meet me at such and such place. And then I met them in real life. And oh my God, like, you are not what I expected.
Yeah.
And I was happily surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have met some people. I have met people, some people online.
But it wasn't with the first intent on, yo, I'm meeting
to smash.
To do. Exactly.
I'm not meeting somebody because I want to get laid. No. Or I'm not meeting somebody for romantic purposes. I met people because we were in exchange groups, we were exchanging content, we were exchanging ideas, and in the marketplace of ideas, I believe, may the best idea win. And I love that. I love the idea that I could meet people and vehemently agree, disagree, argue, whatever, and we're exchanging, and we're all equal, and we can be anonymous in that reality. I love that. I love the internet for that. However, when it comes to building meaningful relationships, to me, there has to be an element of risk. But if the risk is that you lose your livelihood or your freedom, that risk is too great, in my opinion. And I fear for what it will create for the next generations that will not have ever known this idea of taking a risk, a leap of faith. I believe that knowing you is worth risking something. Me being embarrassed should be the highest cost to pay. Me being embarrassed should be the highest cost to pay. You losing your freedom is too high. It's too much.
But why do you say you would lose your freedom doing that?
Because if you get accused of acting inappropriately, I am sure, maybe we're not there yet, but I am sure that on the path we're on, someone will go to jail.
When you're meeting people. When meeting people.
When meeting people that you didn't know.
Yeah. Oh, no. That's...
Meeting. Brand new. Don't know you. Off the street. I don't know your name. You don't know my name. I should be able to take the risk and not fear losing my freedom. The only thing you should ever lose is face. That's it.
For sure.
And I think it makes for stronger character. I wish my children have the opportunity to build up their character. Have a little bit thicker skin.
Yeah.
Getting laughed off is not the end of the world.
But you know what? Look, we're talking about we're talking about an age.
Yeah.
Where some people are ready to just snap their own necks or hang themselves if they get quote unquote cyberbullied.
Yeah.
Right. So I think things have moved. The same danger you're talking about, or the same interactions we're having IRL, meaning in real life.
Jeez, I did not know there was
Yep. IRL in real life. It's getting moved to the online. And back in the days, we used to say, "Oh yeah, okay." I was talking about this with my cousin today. We used to say, "Oh, so and so, yeah, she's Instagram famous, but she's not famous. Now, it's, oh, you're famous. Because there's no distinction anymore. A media is a media. If you're big on Facebook or Instagram, you count as much as the person that's famous because of MTV. People are not watching TV no more.
Yeah.
So wherever you're famous, you're famous. That's where people are. So we used to say, yeah, this is just Facebook, but in real life. But now the real life is on Facebook. Because we no longer have you mentioned something about being anonymous on the net. But now with all the new technologies, laws and everything, it's made so that more and more it's the real you. Facebook doesn't want you to use an alias. It wants your real name. When it wants to check if you're for real, you have to send in your information, your cards, to validate that you're you. Yeah. I've never had that because I've always had my real name on Facebook. Yeah, but that person that went with the freaking Lotus 99, and then at some point gets a message like, "Hey, we suspect," because you have to love the way Facebook talks. "We suspect that you, Pushon 99769, is not really your birth name, and we'd like to confirm. Could you change that name, or could you just show us the paperwork showing that this is your name?" Wow. So now that Facebook has started validating who's who, this is the reason why all the other services are asking for Facebook as a requirement to qualify you.
Yeah. Validate your
Yup, exactly. Identity. Now remember, you asked me about Tinder not too long ago, right?
Yeah.
And that's how Tinder works. Tinder connects with your Facebook,
Really?
It's not. You can't register with just an email. You register with Facebook. Facebook now being an extra layer of validating that you're a real person, right? So automatically, this puts weight on Facebook. Like, oh, okay, you're this person on Facebook, cool. And also, it now connects right away with all the people you're connected on Facebook.
Whoa.
Yeah, because so you asked me if I've ever had an account. I've had one, and no lie, it was for research purposes.
Yeah.
So we had one time at work. We had I'm not naming names. One time we had to help a client who wanted to know, hey, I'm scared of viruses and dangers of so and so, and I want to know if I register and get on Tinder, is that dangerous? I was like,
and you had to do the research.
You know what? Let's verify. And it was a good time for me because I was single. So like, okay, let's go and verify what gives. And for I think 3 years in a row, I would, because I never spent long. I just took that as an opportunity to test things. You know how it is. It's a geek mind.
Yeah,
you want to test things. So I go and I test things. I test bios, slogans. I would test pictures. And then I take notes on, okay, let's see the stats. Oh, I had more hits when I had this picture and this comment. And I would this, that, the third, this, that, and the third. And then I'd get off. And then a year later, I'd go back. And I'd try again. And then I'd test the different things that Tinder had done. Oh, now they added this feature, this feature. Oh, now they link you with the Instagram. Oh, okay, cool. And then I did it one more year to validate. Afterwards, I just stopped. I at some point, I was always doing it at the same date. I forgot one time, and I said, nah, all the data I need is now out, and other people are doing a better job. And for me, I was able to take what I liked from it and apply it to my own type of marketing.
Ooh.
And boom.
You can do A/B marketing with...
That's right. And I understood something. I was suckered into something, a technique, and I went, oh, that's so freaking smart.
What is...
So when they allowed Instagram to be added to your profile, so you link with Tinder links to your Facebook. It doesn't tell everyone, oh, I'm on Tinder now. No. It's just that it links to your database. It downloads some information. You can modify who sees what, but it validates your age. So that way it knows that it's your real age. So if for some reason you had a random fake account, you didn't want people to know your age, and you put like 86, oh well, 86 is your age, my friend. You're gonna have to edit it on Facebook so it can return properly in your Tinder. Yeah. But it would download, let's say, all your interests from Facebook, so it can build a profile of the type of person they're gonna throw at you, right? To add to the chance of you linking up, because they want you to link up and talk, and it needs to move, right? In Tinder.
How does Tinder monetize, by the way? You pay for Tinder?
Well, no, so at first, the first year.
I'm sorry, we're completely off.
Yes, but hey, data. So the first year they came out, the first year and a half, it was all free, and then they added kind of super features, and these you could pay for.
Okay.
So let's say you like someone, because at first it was just A/B. It was just, I think it's left when you don't like someone, and right when you like.
Okay.
So, yeah, because you say swipe left, swipe right. And then you had super like, which meant when you swipe left and right, the other person will only get it when, when she's swiping, at some point she gets to you.
Okay.
Okay? And then you get linked. The super like makes her know right away, hey, somebody super liked you.
Oh.
Do you want to check him out? Oh. So if you pay, you get more super likes. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was one of the features. There was a couple of more things that were added. Then they had Tinder Meetup, that you could actually like have friends on Tinder and say, hey, we are going to this club, all three of us. We're looking for 3 girls to go with us. You want to swipe right and come with us. I never experimented with that feature, so I don't know how it works. But it was nice. I thought it was okay. I see what you're doing. You're making it more like mingle,
safe,
awesome.
Mingles, yeah.
But okay, so now the interesting part was so they add now Tinder, and Tinder adds Instagram, and now when you go to the profile of the person, I guess to make sure you're not catfished, and you don't have only the 5 pictures they allow you to show. I'm like, I can check their Instagram and see what they like, what they do. Oh yeah, he's on a trip right now. Here's an action shot, blah blah blah. And here's what I thought. I was like, okay. Sometimes girls will leave their accounts open on Tinder even though they're not available, or they deleted the app but they didn't delete the profile. So you're swiping like a madman on the right, but then nobody pops up and nobody hits you up, and then you're like, is it just because I'm ugly? or people don't care, or they're dead accounts? But then you're like, I have their Instagram right there. I could go check them out and just hit them up there, because the whole Tinder thing is so bothersome. Why don't I just go to the other app that's open? Mofo. These people were doing marketing on Tinder.
Wow.
Basically, I put my Instagram, I show myself as an interesting person. You go, let me just add them. And they would make more followers. Wow. Some of them were not even single anymore.
Wow.
But you still went and go, she looks super interesting. She didn't like me, or she didn't hit me back. Maybe she didn't see my message. Yeah. Let me just go on Instagram, hit them up. You like it, and you go follow, and you start checking.
And then you start seeing pictures.
And at some point you realize, hey, I'm actually following these people now. Like, I'm actively checking what they're doing, and I like what they're doing. I've been influenced.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they hacked the system.
That's a pretty smart thing to do.
That's marketing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to knock their hustle. I think pretty much everybody knows about it now. And like I said, after that point, it was quote unquote too commercial now. And
Tinder's too commercial?
Yeah, it's just too
interesting.
Yeah, because here's how I think. If you're gonna go somewhere where everybody's already there, that means you don't really care about being anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
So might as well just go hit up people on Facebook.
That's true.
I mean, and anyways, I've told you, Facebook has already started to integrate Tinder features.
Really?
Well, yeah, because I made a post about that. When you're in Messenger now, it tells you, hey, we're going to show you like 17 people and that right, in your entourage, and we just want to facilitate you guys in meeting up with them.
Oh, wow.
And so just swipe if you want to meet them. Don't worry, it'll be anonymous. You will only show something if you both swipe right. That's basically a Tinder feature.
What Tinder is, yeah.
So they took over Instagram. They bought Instagram.
Yeah.
They took over a whole bunch of features from Snapchat. Added some stuff from Twitter, and now they're integrating stuff from Tinder. Jeez. And I remember telling a friend, "What's next? Are they gonna start taking over Kijiji?" And I went, "Oh wait, there's a marketplace." So hey, Facebook isn't going anywhere. All that to say, I think all of this is going to be done more and more online.
Yeah.
Facebook is now a real place.
Mm-hmm.
People put so much content and information that's personal now, and now that everything is validated and we're not, we're supposed to be the real people here.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna prefer chit-chatting on the net and making sure everything is copacetic than going outside and risking it outside.
Jeez.
That's why I say I think the pendulum has gone completely to the far right, and there's no coming back from this one.
All right. All right.
And this was an episode on harassment.
Yeah, that's sexual harassment for you.
Yeah.
I just hope the kids figure it out. Yeah. I'll do my best to help them, but damn, I hope they figure it out.
I think they're born in this new generation. It's for them.
Yeah.
So we're going to guide them as much as we can.
As much as we can.
We're going to try to understand what they're going through.
I'm not going to try to understand.
You're not going to try.
No, Holmes, listen, to me, you meet people, you meet them. You don't meet people, beep, 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 beep. That's not meeting. that's accommodation of whatever. Like, I don't think that that's like, in order for a real relationship to gain real traction and value. And again, I don't know, Ish. This is just Danny's opinion. I think it has to involve some sort of risk. I think it has to involve, at one point or another, somebody going, you know what, I'm risking embarrassment because I think it's worth it. And I don't know if that can be accomplished if you're only meeting online.
I don't know, man. Have you seen what happens on WordStar? That's dude. You want to talk embarrassment? Yo, the net, dude. You could do something online and become a meme in an instant, in a snap of a finger. Oh my God. You will say something horrible in somebody's DM. This crap is getting screenshot and repeated on all social networks, man. You're gonna get trolled everywhere if you used to get turned off. You used to get turned down by a woman, and the worst thing you could feel was ooh for your 4 friends in the corner.
Yeah.
Now, dude, your grandma's gonna call you and be like, "Oh, Danny, comment pour l'aide comme ça, chérie?" Yo. All right, my friend, dude, it's a jungle out there. It's dangerous. Ah, shoot. Oh man, so what time are we? Oh, an hour 11. People, yeah. I think we're gonna shut it down.
Yeah, we're gonna shut it down.
Thank you for listening to us, for us ranting, talking. We hope you liked what we talked about, how we talked about it. Share, comment, like. Subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. You can also listen to us on SoundCloud, iTunes. You can see us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and many other places. Just hit us up, talk to us. We won't bite, I think, and we're looking forward to see you guys next week.
Yeah, and if you guys enjoy this, let your friends know.
Yup.
We are looking forward to the support. We need to, we're doing this for fun. We're enjoying our time together, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's, it's a 2-hour drive for me to go to Gino's.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy this time, I really do. But I need to have I like to have some validation from you guys to know whether or not you're enjoying the content, and if you do, let us know, man. We appreciate it. So thumbs up on YouTube, review on iTunes if this is where you're listening to, or just a like on SoundCloud, whatever. Just make sure that you let us know whether or not you like it. Comment if you don't like it, because I'm actually genuinely looking for some validation, some confirmation that we're not talking to ourselves. My friend Lewis was listening to the podcast, and he sent me a text message. He's like, "Oh my God, you and Gino are hilarious. You sound like 2 old yentas talking to each other." And I'm like, "Really, dude? Really, Holmes?
That's
come
cool.
on, man.
I'm cool with that.
We're 36. We're 36. We're not that old.
Not yet.
Not yet is right. Not yet is
get
right.
there though.
Yeah. But I hope we can drink lemonade on the porch of an old house, swinging on an old man chair.
That's right.
I don't know. That's like a life goal for me.
Let's get to that point.
Yeah. So, guys, again, thank you very much for your attention, and have a blessed week. Peace.